Hello friends, how is everybody doing? Okay, so we're gonna wait for everybody to pop on and then I'll go ahead and get started. But how's everybody doing? Happy Monday. I think it's Monday. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and put my shopping link right here in the comments. So everything you're about to see is going to be available right here on my website, RheaHopeBeauty.com. I'm going to pin it right there. And like I said, all the makeup that you're about to see me use, talk about, reference is all going to be available for purchase there. We do have a love it guarantee, so if any reason you don't love any of your makeup, you can always return it for your money back, which is such a cool thing. And then yeah, so today we're going to do the stick foundation. I did the liquid touch foundation in my last tutorial, and I always love to give you guys different options of coverage, just depending on your skin type, skin preference, full coverage, light coverage, etc. So today we're going to be doing stick, which is really good if you have mature skin or dry skin. The stick foundation can be very hydrating. It's more of a cream foundation, so although we call it a stick, it's because it comes in a stick, but it's a cream foundation. So if you love cream foundation, which I feel like the people that love cream love it. So if that's you, you're gonna really like this because the concentrate of it is very good. It's still mineral based, but it's really amazing. It is not raining here. It's a little cloudy-ish, but it's not raining. Yay! Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see your tan, Kelly. You're gonna look so good. Hello from rainy Michigan. Awesome. We have a lot of family in Michigan. I think in South Bend. I think that's where they live. Yeah, you love your stick foundation. Awesome. Awesome. So if you do use the Younique foundations and you already know your shade, you'll be the same shade. I missed a curl. Missed a girl there. You'll be the same shade in the stick as you are in the liquid or as a spray. They're all the three the same. So stick, spray, liquid, you'll be all the same shades. The stick foundation can run a tad bit darker, so just keep that in mind. If you if say the liquid is running a tad bit darker, maybe go down in a shade with the stick, but you can always message me and I can tell you what color you are. So just send me a selfie facing window. Oh my god, right? Wasn't that movie so funny? I've never laughed so hard. Yay, you love your tanning kit. Awesome. So glad so many of you guys grabbed that. It's like my favorite. I haven't used it since I made that tutorial. What was that, 2.5 weeks ago? And it's like starting to now fade. But I love the self-tanner because it fades really nice. It doesn't fade like all patchy. I see so many bloggers that are like, I need to scrub my self-tanner off. I'm like, I don't have that problem. The pool's good. If everything goes as planned, they said we'll be swimming like next week, which Ryan and I were both like, right. We're not really hoping or holding our breath for it, but they said, so I don't know. It's better to think realistically than be disappointed, in my opinion. Love how you counted for 2 sticks. Awesome, thank you, Leanne. How do you determine what color you need for contouring? So contouring is a really easy thing, especially with a cream foundation, because it blends out so nicely. So what's cool about that is you can kind of, really any color to answer your question. I always would recommend to go at least 3 shades darker than whatever color you're using. For me, I love the shades Charmeuse, Velvet, and Chenille. So those are my 3 favorites for contouring with a stick. So I hope that answered your question. But again, always feel free to message me if I missed one of your comments, and I would love to help you. For hyperpigmentation, the stick foundation would be a really good product for you. I'm going to show you guys the coverage, so we'll just go ahead and get started. So first things first, when I'm doing my stick, is I'm going to do my concealer first. So I'm going to use my Skin Perfecting Concealer in the shade Organza, and I'm just going to massage it on my fingers, and then we're going to pop this on my under eye and wherever I need like a little bit extra coverage. So typically when I'm doing my concealer, I'll do that after my foundation, but the stick foundation is much, I don't know how to phrase it without it sounding like it's heavy, because it's not. It's thicker consistency. So I don't like to layer all of those products that are like a thicker consistency on top of one another, because that's when it starts to feel heavy or looking a little bit cakey. So I like if they're both heavier consistencies, I like to only use them separately. So I'm gonna butt them up against one another. So concealer on, which, look at that, so good. And then now I'm going to take my stick foundation and I'm going to just pop this everywhere else. So like I said, typically when I'm doing my foundation routine, I'll do the Liquid Touch foundation everywhere, including my under eyes, and then I'll put concealer on top of that. Because the Liquid Touch foundation is a thinner consistency, just as full coverage. Does that make sense? It's kind of tricky. It's kind of confusing, I get it. But the stick foundation and the concealer are the same kind of texture. So I don't want to pair them on top of one another, because that's when you're going to start to get that like crazy slickness. And that's when you're going to start to experience maybe like a little bit of heaviness or cakiness. So I like to butt them up against one another. Melanie, my necklace is from Lavender Blue. I'll give you guys my my link for her on Instagram as soon as I get off here, which my Instagram, or my discount code with her is Rhea Hope, but no, it's not. It's Rhea20. My Instagram name is Rhea Hope, so make sure you're following me over there, and I can give you, I'll be linking my entire outfit for you guys today. It's super, super affordable. Will the stick foundation be good for mature skin? Yes, Becky. The stick foundation is probably one of the best options for mature skin because of the consistency. It doesn't fall into all your fine lines and wrinkles, as opposed to like a liquid kind of settles in those spots. So another thing to keep in mind, and now I'm just taking my blending bud and I'm just going to buff this in all over. So another thing to keep in mind when you're using a cream foundation is that you are having a really good surface that is prepped and primed and ready for it, because any foundations really are going to look more full coverage if you have your skin prepped and primed and ready. So when I say that, I always am talking about the same pre-makeup routine that I always do before I put on my makeup every single time, and I swear by it. It really is the best pre-makeup routine. It helps your foundation go on smoother, look more full coverage, last all day, protects your skin. It does so, so much. So what that is, and you guys, can we take a moment? That's such good coverage. It's insane. It's so crazy to me. Oh my goodness. And it's super buildable as well, which we'll do that here in a second. But pre-makeup routine, what I do is I will take two products. I'll take my setting spray, and then I will take my mattifying face primer. So I'll spray my face with my setting spray. I'll let it dry. Then I go in with about like anywhere from like a pea to a dime size, like somewhere in the middle, of my mattifying face primer, and I apply this all over. If you have mature skin or dry skin, you can still use this primer. It does not have a drying property in it. It has a blurring ingredient in it, however, which is amazing for blurring fine lines, pores, wrinkles. So mattifying face primer goes all over, and then I let this sit on my skin for like anywhere from like 3 to 5 minutes. So after I let that sit on my skin, then I spray again with my setting spray. So setting spray, primer, setting spray, and then what we just did is the concealer on our under eye and our stick foundation all over. That's it. That's all I have on my skin are these two things. Is that not amazing? So, so good. Yes, we are like natural in science, like a half and half. I'm using this shade Organza in the concealer, which is amazing for hiding dark circles. And then I'm using the shade Lace in the stick foundation, but I can also use the shade Organza. So there's that. Do you self-tanner on your tanning bed? Yes, so I'll do the self-tanner all over, even on my tattoos. And it doesn't like alter them at all. It looks as if I was tan. So same. Okay, so now, like I said, I'm just going to go over and kind of fine tune my coverage. So anywhere where I want a little bit more coverage, I'll take my stick foundation and pop it on, and then I'll go in with my damp blending bud. And these blending buds are really, really important if you're wanting that full coverage look. So the blending buds are made from like a different material than your everyday beauty blender. They really do make a very big difference on how full coverage and how soft the makeup look looks, which I was kind of talking about that prior, with how it smooths everything out and helps to minimize the appearance of pores. So now that everything is set and we're ready for, we have our coverage now, let's set everything. So I'm going to take my Touch Behold setting powder, and I'm going to spritz it with my setting spray. Now, if you have mature skin or dry skin, you'll typically probably not use this step, because this is really good for soaking up oil and preventing creasing and things like that, but it can be a little bit drying. So typically you'd want to use this product if you were oily skinned. You can also use your you could also use your press powder for this step. Just kind of depends what type of skin you have. As far as, you know, if you need to use a setting powder. But again, message me and I can give you a recommendation on what products you should be using. Do you use a moisturizer? So I don't use a moisturizer on my skin. I use a rose water, which is technically a moisturizer and a toner. I like the rose water by Younique to use as my moisturizer because it dries really nicely, and it's also, like I said, a toner, but it adds just enough moisture into my skin that it doesn't make my foundation even more slick or feel like it's sitting on my skin. Let's just say it doesn't prevent my foundation from like laying nicely. Yay, Sarah, I'm so excited for you. Tips for coverage on my nose, larger pores, red. Judy, mattifying face primer, blending buds, stick foundation. Amazing for all of what you just said. Okay, so can we take a moment? Look at how beautiful that coverage is, and I love this coverage because I don't feel like I have anything on. It's so good. Can you do a video on the pool today? Yes, I will show you guys the update on the pool on my Instagram story. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, make sure you do so today. My name on there, like I said before, is Rhea Hope. And then to get the Instagram stories to play, you will just go to my Instagram and then click on my little profile picture. It typically has like a little red circle around it, and that's how you'll get the stories to play. Got my rose water, yay! Message me for the self tanner and I can give you the link. Beauty blender versus brush for liquid foundation. I would recommend both, but I don't recommend like any beauty blender. I'm not saying that's gonna give you the same coverage. I'm saying these. Blending Buds by Younique. These guys right here is what I'm raving about. I'm not raving about like any other sponge. These ones. You need these exact ones. There's some things that you can like get dupes for and, you know, get a similar outcome, but those Blending Buds can't get a dupe for that. Those are legit. Lola, I think you're referring to the BB Flawless, and the BB Flawless is really good for light coverage. It just depends on your preference. So feel free to message me and I can give you a recommendation. Yes, send me a message. What color in the powder? I'm using the shade Taffeta in my pressed powder. And now this part right here is really important, especially for me because I have oily skin, but it seriously makes the makeup look. It makes it look so much fuller coverage, so much softer on my skin. You would think that pressed powder may make you look cakey or heavy or just kind of alter the look of your makeup. This, however, seals it up. It really is that porcelain doll finish. So if you've been struggling with getting that like fuller coverage look that looks really like natural, this guy right here is what you're missing. This pressed powder is incredible. And again, I'm using the shade Taffeta in it, and this color is super, super neutral. So I don't care what type of skin you have or what color, you can make that color work. Glow Pro Tans, they are restocking the 10% in 2 weeks, but they told me that a lot of it's available in the bundles. Oh, thank you. Yes, Brittany, my website's right here, RheaHopeBeauty.com. That's where you can find everything I'm using. All right, so now that our coverage is fully done, which if I wasn't live, that would maybe take me 2 minutes, which I love how fast the stick foundation is. So now I'm going to add just a little bit of a contour. So I'm going to use my pressed powder in the shade Chenille, and I'm going to take it on a tapered blusher brush, which is by Younique. Take it from the top of the ear towards the corner of the mouth, and I'm just going to pop this in, and it's going to really warm up my complexion and start to give my face some shape. Yes, message me for the link to the big brush. Thank you. Do I make up twice with all my products? I'm loving them. Yay, I'm so excited. I'm so glad. Yeah, so message me if you need any recommendations or anything like that. And like I said before, if you don't love anything for any reason, you can return it for your money back. No problemo. Just let me know how I can help. Okay, so for contouring, I always go like around the jawline. Goodbye, quarantine 15. And then around the forehead, I just follow my hairline. And I'll kind of swirl in the corners, or in the temples rather. And see how it really just warms everything up? I swear every time I contour, I'm like, oh, there it goes. And now it's starting to look like everything matches and flows and looks good. It really does so much. And you never realize how much it does until you contour. So many of you guys have messaged me, how have I not been contouring? It makes such a big difference, and you don't have to go as bold as I go. You could go lighter. I use the shade Chenille in it, but you can use a shade lighter or even 2 shades lighter if you want to ease into it. But I love contouring with the pressed powder. So technically it's a powder foundation. So yes, I know you're probably like, so many foundations, but these ones, these pressed powders are so silky soft. You can utilize how wonderful they blend out without overthinking like, oh, I'm using so many foundations. Don't think about it. Get out of your head. Just follow the tutorial and let me know what you guys think. Oh, Sarah, I love that. Where do you recommend for older skin dark circles? Robin messaged me and I would be so happy to help you, but long story short, the stick foundation would be a really good option for you, as well as the spray foundation, depending on what color skin you have. But message me and I can tell you. I forgot what lip color I was doing today. I guess I'll do that one. Our lip color options are kind of dwindling. I think I'll do that. Okay. Can you use this? Can you use the stink for contouring? Yes, you can. The stick, yes. My favorite colors are Velvet, Chenille, and Charmeuse for contouring with the stick foundation. And I have many tutorials on how to do that too. How do you keep your makeup from looking muddy with the bronzers and pressed powders? Terry, these products are not muddy. They are so good. That's how. I used to have a really big problem too finding a good contour that didn't look really muddy. Like the Huda one that everyone loves. I want to love that one so bad, but it just looks so dirty on my skin. I don't know why, but it does. And so if you're like, me too, try the shade Chenille and the pressed powder. It makes blending your contour out so easy. Oh, hi, Missy. Yay. What if you're older and yes, oh my God, still contour. Yes, it really does make a big difference. And like I said before, you don't have to go this dark. You could go much more subtle, but it makes the biggest difference in your skin. It really adds that structure to your cheeks, to your face, so you don't look so washed out. And it really does warm up your complexion. All right, so now for blush, I'm taking the shade Supple in my pressed blush, and this is one of my favorite colors. It's like this really gorgeous peachy undertoned. It does have a very slight sheen to it, so it's not matte, but I love that because it gives you this really pretty glowy finish. So if you have oily skin like I do, but you still love that dewy finish, you can still achieve that just using smart products. So that is that. And then kind of went too far. Okay, so now for highlight, I'm going to use the Touch in the Mode Luminizer in the shade Iridescent. This has been a favorite for highlighting, and you'll see why. It's so pretty. It's like angels should be singing when this goes on, and it's really easy to apply. I'm just taking a fluffy brush. With this product, any brush is fine. You could use your finger, you can use a fan brush. I like this fluffy one. It's by Stilazzi. It's a Tapered Cheek 510 brush. I just like it because it's fluffy. Fluffy! And I'm just popping this on the highest parts of my cheekbone right above my blush. So it'll go highlight, blush, bronzer is how you'll think of it. But I really love how it gives you that really pretty kind of iridescent-y, because that's a color, glowy finish. So pretty. Oh, thank you, Alicia. How often do you use your mask for your skin? I use a face mask once a week, if not twice a week. Just depends if my makeup's looking wrong, if that makes sense. If you ever feel like your makeup just doesn't look right, I've had those weeks, those months where I'm like, what's wrong? And sometimes I need to switch up what I'm using. So sometimes I'll use the liquid for weeks on end, and then all of a sudden my skin is like, yuck. Then I'll switch to the stick, and it's like, ooh, gimme, gimme. So it just kind of depends. It might not be like I don't know. A lot of people are like, oh, I want one foundation for always. And that's good and fine. But sometimes your skin doesn't want one thing for always. It wants to be switched up. So keep that in mind. But to answer your question, I like when I found tangent. You can use the face mask to kind of re-regulate your skin. So to answer your question, I will do the exfoliating face mask and the perfecting face mask once a week. And then if my skin is like acting a fool, I will also use the the brightening face mask that week also. So I'll technically use 3 masks in 1 week. But if my skin's being good, I'm drinking my water and it's looking good, then I will typically just stick to switching things off. So I'll do the brightening face mask and then I'll switch off the next week and do the perfecting and exfoliating face masks. The brow pencils, the shade Light, I believe, is still in stock. The other ones should be back in stock around August. And I know the restocks, like, on everybody's websites are, like, crazy right now. I was on Wayfair yesterday, and I was like, where is everything? And it's not anybody's fault. It's COVID's fault. A lot of the warehouses are just so understaffed, and production is just moving really, really slow. Things being mailed is really difficult, so we just need to practice patience in this difficult time. Hopefully I feel like we're very close to being back to a new normal, but so if something's out of stock, just message me and I can either recommend a dupe for it or another product to use in its place, but just message me. Don't get frustrated. Message me and I will find a way to help. But that was the brow pencil in the shade Medium. Just threw them on real fast. I love the brow pencil a lot. It makes it super, super easy to apply. But if your color is not in stock, I highly do recommend the Brow Obsession palette. I use that one a lot also. It just kind of depends on what I grab that day. But the Brow Obsession palette's a really great one. I'll show it to you guys here in a second after I do my eyeliner, which is in the shade Perfect. And I love this guy because it actually stays put, glides on. It's super, super creamy. And then it's only 15 bucks. Okay, so now that I put that on. So like I was saying about the Brow Obsession palette, it's this guy. And it's really cool because you get 2 powders, you get 2 highlights, and then you get the pomade. So these are highlights. You get a cream highlight and a powder highlight, and then you get your choice of powder. So this is a really good product for doing your eyebrows if you want them to look a little bit more natural and not so stamped on. I like mine a little bit more stamped on-ish, but if you want something a little more natural, this is a really good product to pick up. It also lasts for a really long time, so if you're balling on a budget, that's a perfect way to make your dollar stretch. Okie dokie. The same issue with even things like deodorant, I have to switch out. Yeah, exactly. Precisely. And same thing goes with your hair too. Like your shampoo and conditioner, it's so good for your hair to be switched out, like with products. Practice, Kim. I used to have to like lift up my eye and draw it on slow. I used the brow pencil in the shade Medium. But Mariah, I would get the Brow Obsession palette for you. Carrie Ann, I would do the Brow Obsession palette. Yes, exactly. I'll post the full product list in the comments below after I get off. The highlight color was the shade Iridescent. Pre-makeup routine. What's your pre-makeup routine and primer and skincare? Are those game changers? Yes, Cynthia, message me and I can help you. I missed your message about your big brush. Giselle, message me and I can give you the link. Yes, I do. Jamie, message me. Do we look, but anything with shimmer doesn't go right on me? Carrie Ann, message me and I can help you. I feel like a broken record. Message me. Message me. All right, so now for our eye look, we're going to do something very bronzy, very easy. We're going to take our pressed powder that we did our contour with, which again is in the shade Chenille, and I'm going to take it on the fluffy crease brush, and I'm just going to very lightly pop this on the crease and the brow bone of my eye. You can also use the shade Gingerly for this step, which would be really pretty as well. I just was feeling lazy and didn't want to get it out. But pop this in the crease and the brow bone. I always swirl in this outside corner to kind of create a little bit more depth in this outside corner. And then when you're doing your eyeshadow, always think this little trick. Rainbow, rainbow, zigzag. Rainbow, rainbow, zigzag. It'll help to kind of blend out the product faster and easier so it looks much softer on your skin, on your eye, so you don't look like you got punched in the eye. Best brushes you would recommend. Betty, for face or for eyes? Yes, the palette's really good. Brow palette, yes, Betty and Lee, you can get both of those. You can get that right here, RayaHopeBeauty.com. With sparse eyebrows, the brow palette would be the best option because it will last you longer. If you were to use the brow pencil with sparse eyebrows, you'll fly through your pencil. The name of the mirror I'm using, this right here is called the Gala. I'm like knocking things over. This is called the Gala. It's by Fancy. It has a white LED light on it, has swivels, it turns, it does like all the things. But this is my favorite because I love the height of it, so I'm not like bent over like this. I'm looking like directly at it. This is my favorite. So if you want the link to that, just message me. Otherwise, it's by a company called Fancy, and you can use my code RAYA15 to save. Kim, it depends what foundation I'm using. If I'm using the liquid, I will do the liquid first and then the concealer, but for today I did the stick foundation and I did them both at the same time. So then I did concealer, then stick. Yay, I'm so excited, Christian. Okay, so now for my eyes, I'm gonna use the liquid eyeshadow in the shade Ornate, and I just pop this on the lid of my eye, and now I'm taking that same fluffy crease brush, and I am just going to dab at this and start to blend it out into the crease. But like I was saying before about the easiest bronzy eye look you've ever seen, this is it, you guys. We're done. It's so easy. It's crease proof, smudge proof. Oh, it's so good. If you haven't tried these liquid eyeshadows yet, highly recommend. Again, it's the shade Ornate. And I love this one because it has like this really pretty like bronzy finish to it. So again, just going over on the lid. And see, I'm just kind of focusing the product on the actual lid, and I'll get real close to the eyelash line, then fluffy crease brush, and then I'm just going to start to dab at it. And then once I feel like I've like kind of moved the product around a little bit, then I will start to swish it in this outside corner and then in the crease to really blend those two together. But I'm not going to go super high onto the brow bone because I want it to look soft and blended like that, like it feathers out. So, and then same thing. And these are so fast drying. This eye's already dried. But so pretty, so easy. And then for my under eye, I'm going to take my, yes, just like Tenacious, except it's a little bit more, I don't know, it's like a little bit different. It's like Tenacious, but different. Yes, Betty, everything is on my website, RayaHopeBeauty.com. All the brushes, all the products I'm using. So I'm going to take the liner shader brush. I'm going to grab the liner side and I just kind of swiped it on there. And then now I'm going to drag this on the under eye underneath my lower lash line, and this will just give it more of that cohesive finish look and just kind of make everything look really as one. Just like that. And then same thing over here. But again, this is a really great product to do this step with because it doesn't smudge or crease. So if you struggle with your with creasing or your eyeshadow just like coming off altogether, or if you have really oily eyelids, this is a really great product for you. All right, just like that. Oh, so easy, so fast. Just go, oh, where did you get the mirror? This mirror is from a company called Fancy. You can message me and I can give you the link to it. And you could use the code RAYA15 to save. All right, so now we're gonna set our makeup and then we're gonna finish. Okay, and then the reason that I always set my makeup before I finish it is because I don't like when my mascara gets even more wet after I apply it. It's more likely to cause transferring of your mascara onto like your brow bone or down beneath. So set your makeup, then finish it. I have found like a lot of luck with that, with my mascara not transferring. A newbie here. Aw, thanks, Roberta. I notice you hardly ever put eyeliner on your top. Is there a reason? I feel like eyeliner on the top makes my eyes look a little heavier, so I don't really prefer it unless I'm doing like a smoky eye or like no eyeshadow at all. But it's all personal preference. Where do you live so I can come? You're funny. I like tree so people can go to your links there. I have a link tree. I like to make it easy because this is for makeup, so I always like to just pin just my makeup website, which is RayaHopeBeauty.com. Plus, I like to talk to you guys. I like to help you. So I like when you guys message me. So please do. Please message me. Okay, so now for eyelashes, we're gonna do these two right here. This is the lash primer first. This lash primer has lasted me a ridiculous amount of time. I'm still on my first bottle of when we released it, and I think that was like August. Same lash primer, you guys. Isn't that crazy? It's lasted me almost a year. It's won a bunch of awards. It's amazing for length and volume. It gives you so much hydration to your eyelashes, which helps them to be stronger. So I like to pop that on first underneath my mascara, just like it's a crime not to prime. Same goes for the lashes. So I'm going to pop that on all over. And then, you guys are funny. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm online. Do your makeup with me. And then you can always share this to your page by clicking in the bottom left-hand corner. You can click that share button. And that way it's saved on your Facebook. So then when you get your makeup in the mail, you can do it with me. That's actually how I learned to do my makeup. I was a huge tomboy. My mom was a tomboy. I didn't really have anyone to teach me. I just would get this makeup and I would watch the tutorials. That's exactly how I learned. Oh, nice, Samantha. Thank you. I have not needed to thin out the primer, no. I have needed to thin out the mascara. This guy right here is the 4D mascara, and it is pumping. It comes with so much product in it. You definitely have to thin it out when you first open it. And by that, I mean just like wipe off a lot of what comes on the tube. It's not a bad thing, though. I mean, it makes it last so long. And it gives you the most gorgeous length and volume, you guys. It wraps each hair, each lash in fibers and gel. It's like a little fiber blanket. And it doesn't have any fallout. It's so good. And it's pretty dang water resistant. Okay. That's so good. Oh, I love it. Watch your closet tutorial. I'm dying to know where you get some of those jackets. I link most of my stuff on my Like It to Know It, which is right here. I'll pin it in the comments. Right there. So I pin almost everything. At some point in time, I've pinned it. So it'll all be right there on that website. Like It to Know It, which is actually a free app. If you don't have it already, definitely download it. It makes shopping my closet so much easier. But you can download the app and then you could shop it that way. And follow me, Rhea Hope, on there as well as on Instagram. Thank you. Where's the necklace from? I'm going to give you guys the details to my necklace, earrings, all the things over on my Instagram story as soon as I get off here. So make sure you follow me on Instagram. My name there again is Rhea Hope. Yes, I do wear false eyelashes sometimes, not very often, but I did a tutorial the other day on how to use magnetic lashes the other day. These overalls are actually from Target, and I'll give you the link to them on my Instagram. They're so good. They're really inexpensive too. Yes, soon, Erin. Okay, so now for lips, we're gonna do a lip liner in the shade Prudent. And I'm gonna line my lips with this. It's clearly my favorite. It is so good. This is my favorite color, clearly, because it's super natural. It's creamy, it glides right on, it's super easy to overdraw your lips with. And I love this color. It doesn't wash you out, but it's like the prettiest, like peachy pink nude. So I like to fill in my whole lip with that. And I always like to overdraw just here in the center. And then bring it back down. Okay, so now that we're done that, I'm going to use this guy right here. This is a NYX lipstick in the shade A La Mode. Message me and I can give you the link to this. And I really like this color. It matches my lipstick. It's really, really similar to our lipstick color in the shade Well To Do. But Well To Do is out of stock. So this color is a good one. The only thing I don't like is that it smells funny. So random. But that's it. There's a little makeup look. Ta-da! Watch, learn. Thank you. And you can message me for the link to the lipstick as well. What's the difference between using the hands versus sponge for applying foundation? So you don't really want to use your hands at all unless you're putting on concealer really quickly, because your hands have oils in them and the oils will actually make the makeup separate. So don't use your hands. Always use blending buds. When in doubt, use the bud. What would the lip color look good on me? Yes, Shirley, absolutely. Yeah, so good. Color for my eyes. I'm using the liquid eyeshadow in the shade, what did I say? Ornate? Yes, Ornate is the liquid eyeshadow I'm using. I'm sure they'll replace them with something just as good. So yes, message me if you guys need any help. Message me if you need to be color matched or if you need any recommendations or any links or anything. The comments, as soon as I get off here, just disappear. So just message me if you want the link to something and I can give it to you. But I hope you guys all have a good rest of your day. And I'll see you guys over on Instagram for the rest of the day. Remember, go follow the Instagram stories. You'll go to Instagram. Rhea Hope is my name there. And then click on the profile picture of me. And it's like a little red circle. Click that and the stories will start to play, and I'll give you guys an update on the pool and the bathroom that we're remodeling and yeah, all the things. So I'll see you guys over there and message me and I would love to help you. Bye.